Today I will talk about survey research design under my lectures on research design. These are part of my series of lectures on research methodology. This is my lecture outline. First I will give introduction, then I'll talk about types of survey, then I'll talk about questionnaire, then I will state key principles of good questionnaire design. Then I will talk about reliability, validity, bias, and errors. Then I'll talk about interview, then briefly about ethical concern, and finally, I will provide you with Python code for reliability analysis in questionnaire design. A survey is a formal data gathering method for assessing situations, conditions, or opinions. A survey is a systematic method for gathering information from a sample of entities for the purpose of constructing quantitative descriptors of the attributes of the larger population of which the entities are members. Surveys are conducted to gather information that reflects populations, attitudes, behaviors, opinions, and beliefs that cannot be observed directly. It is accomplished by collecting, analyzing, and interpreting the views of people from a target population. Surveys can take the form of interviews, questionnaires, focus groups, workshops, and other forms which I will describe briefly later on. Before designing a survey, a researcher should ask, is this survey necessary? Is the purpose of the survey to evaluate people or program? Can the data be obtained by other means? What level of detail is required? What type of survey is most appropriate and or viable given funding and time? Is the survey ethically possible? Is this a one-time survey or will the researcher repeat the survey in different settings and or occasions? Will the researcher have a target completion rate? How will the researcher deal with non-respondents? How to choose people for the study and how many, that is sample size and sampling design. This I will not touch in my present lecture. I have lecture on sample size calculation and sampling design on my YouTube channel. What questions to ask to find answers to our research questions, that is the questionnaire. I will talk about questionnaire in detail in present lecture. Types of survey. Survey can be cross-sectional or longitudinal. In cross-sectional, survey data collected at one point in time, selected to represent a larger population. Longitudinal surveys can be trend, cohort, or panel. Trend include surveys of sample population at different time points. Cohort includes study of sample population each time data is collected, but sample studied may be different. Panel, data collection at various time points with the same sample of respondents. A brief about interview surveys, then I will describe in detail interview later on in my present lecture. Interviewers must be neutral in appearance and actions. Their presence in the data collection process or personal opinion must have no effect on respondents' choice of answers. Interviewers must be adequately trained to be familiar with the questionnaire, to follow the question wording and questions order exactly, and to record responses exactly as they are given. Interviewers can use probes to elicit an elaboration on an incomplete or ambiguous response. Probes should be neutral. Ideally, all interviewers should use the same probes. Telephone surveys. Telephone surveys can be cheaper and more efficient than face-to-face interviews, and they can permit greater control over data collection. Online surveys. This method can be even cheaper than telephone and interview surveys, however, must be used with caution because respondents may not be representative of the intended population. So this is difficult part here in online surveys. Then methods of computerized data collection. We have CAPI, which is computer assisted personal interviewing. We have ACASI, that is audio computer assisted self interviewing. We have CATI, that is computer assisted telephone interviewing. We have IVR, that is interactive voice response. We have web internet survey facilities available. So let us see in detail about questionnaire. Questionnaire is a document containing questions and other types of items designed to solicit information appropriate for the analysis. Questions can be open-ended questions or close-ended questions. Questions for which the respondent is asked to provide his or her own answers are known as open-ended questions. In-depth qualitative interviewing relies almost exclusively on open-ended questions. However, more complex data analysis is the major disadvantage of open-ended questions. Survey questions in which the respondent is asked to select an answer from among a list provided by the researcher are known as close-ended questions. They are popular in survey research because they provide a greater uniformity of responses and are more easily processed than open-ended questions. And close-ended questions, they form basis of quantitative surveys. Open-ended question format provide a blank space or text box where respondents type or write in their responses using their own words. Some information that researchers are seeking may be impossible to obtain with close-ended questions and are revealed through open-ended format questions. Problem is, it is difficult to code the answers for statistical analysis. However, we have recently natural language processing, which may help in the analysis of such questions. Close-ended question formats or scalar questions provide respondents with a list of answer choices from which they must choose to answer the question. Types of close-ended questions include interval scale questions, ordinal scale questions, and nominal scale questions. Then key principles of good questionnaire design. First of all, we should define scope and concept to be measured. We define relevant indicators and develop the content. We create questions related to indicators defined. In questionnaire, we have a survey title, we have a brief introduction, and we have professional contact information. So what are the good practices? We should start with a clear goal. We should keep the questionnaire concise. We should not make surveys too long. We should write clear and simple questions with clear instructions using straightforward language. We should target the vocabulary of the population to be surveyed. We should avoid negative terms. We must avoid double-barreled questions. We should give examples along with questions. We should avoid loaded questions. We should avoid burdensome questions. We should avoid wrong sensitive questions. Sensitive questions should be placed at a later part of the questionnaire and they should be worded properly. Then we should avoid ambiguity in meaning. We should order questions logically because the order of items and wording in questionnaire can influence the responses given. We should group related questions together and place more sensitive or challenging questions at the end after respondents have become comfortable. Format. The format of questionnaire can influence the quality of data collected. A clear format for contingency questions is necessary to ensure that the respondents answer all questions in the questionnaire. We should have a proper layout. For example, we should begin with easy questions. We should place challenging questions in the middle, put sensitive questions at the end. We can use grid to reduce respondent effort. We can incorporate conditional logic, especially in online surveys nowadays. And we should leave demographic questions to the end. We can use funnel technique. We should provide clear response options. So we must ensure that the response options are comprehensive and easy to understand, and we should include not applicable option where relevant. Regarding options or answer scales, we can use Likert scale. We should place low sentiment at the bottom and high ratings at the top. We should equally space items in the middle. For sentiments, middle should be balanced. We may use an even number so that there is no neutral. Some scales begin at 0 and go up. We should not use overlapping options. This is very important. We should give clear choices. We should not have unbalanced answer scales. We should avoid questions with a known answer. The form and meaning of questions should be appropriate to the project and the question should be relevant to the respondents. We can use mix of question types and we should phrase questions in a neutral way to avoid leading respondents to a particular answer. We should design the survey with respondents' experience in mind, provide an introduction that explains the estimated time to complete the survey. And we must test our survey, that is, questionnaire should be pre-tested before being administered to the study sample. Pilot the survey with a small group with launching it to catch any confusing questions or technical issues. And in pre-test or pilot testing, we can calculate the reliability as I will show in my section on Python code. Respondents must be competent and willing to answer the questions. So a little bit about reliability, validity, bias and errors. Reliability in a questionnaire refers to its consistency, which means that it produces similar results with repeated use. It is the consistency and stability of the questionnaire results over time and across different users. It ensures that any variation in result are due to actual changes in the participants and not issues with the questionnaire itself. So these are various reliabilities, that is test retest reliability, internal consistency, which is calculated by Cronbach alpha. This I will show you in using Python language. Then inter-rater reliability is another form of reliability. Validity. Validity is the extent to which a questionnaire accurately measures the specific concept or construct it is designed to evaluate. It ensures that the questions are relevant and that the data collected is meaningful and truly represents what was being studied. Validity refers to the questionnaires' accuracy, ensuring it measures what it is intended to measure. So types include content validity, construct validity, criterion validity. Validity may be internal or external. So relationship between reliability and validity. A questionnaire must be reliable to be valid, but a reliable questionnaire is not necessarily valid, as it could consistently measure the wrong thing. Reliability is a necessary but not sufficient condition for validity. A questionnaire must be consistent to be accurate. A questionnaire can be reliable but not valid. For example, a scale that is consistently 10 pounds off is reliable, that is consistent but not valid, that is inaccurate. Both reliability and validity are critical for research to be trustworthy. Errors and biases include a sampling error, which is a statistical error. Then bias includes sampling bias in case of non-probability sampling or undercoverage. Response bias, that is poorly worded questions, order of questions, and approval of the interviewer. Then non-response bias, which include interviewer error, processing error. It is noteworthy that results of any sample with over 20% non-response rate should be questionable. Responses may be distorted due to halo effect and horn effect. Randomization protects against bias. These are the sources of error in survey research, and these are strategies to reduce error I have taken from this article. Then let us see in detail about interview. An interview is a question and answer session where one person asks questions and the other person answers those questions. It can be one-to-one, or it can be two-way, or there can be more than one interviewer and more than one participant. An interview is generally a qualitative research technique that involves asking open-ended questions to converse with respondents and collect illicit data about a subject. Interviews are designed to collect a richer source of information from a small number of people about these, as we have seen in the definition of survey. Interviews are most effective for qualitative research. They help us explain, better understand, and explore research subjects' opinions, behavior, experience, phenomena. Interview questions are usually open-ended questions so that in-depth information will be collected. Key elements of a research interview. These include structure, question types, interviewer's role, and data analysis. Interview can be structured interview. It is thus also known as standardized interview and is significantly quantitative in its approach. Semi-structured interviews offer a considerable amount of leeway to the researcher to probe the respondents along with maintaining a basic interview structure. An interview may be unstructured, which are called in-depth interviews. Structured interview have predetermined questions in a set order. They are often close-ended, featuring dichotomous or multiple choice questions. While open-ended structured interviews exist, they are much less common. The type of questions asked make structured interview a predominantly quantitative tool. Structured interviews may be a good fit for your research if you feel very comfortable with your topic, you have limited time or resources, and your research question depends on holding environment conditions between participants constant. Semi-structured interviews are a blend of structured and unstructured interview. While the interviewer has a general plan for what they want to ask, the questions do not follow particular phrasing or order. Semi-structured interviews may be good fit for your research if you have prior interview experience and your research question is exploratory in nature. An unstructured interview is most flexible type of interview. The questions and the order in which they are asked are not set. Instead, the interview can proceed more spontaneously based on participants' previous answers. Unstructured interviews are by definition open-ended. Unstructured interviews may be good fit for your research if you have a solid background. Your research question is exploratory in nature. Your research necessitates forming a deeper connection with your participants. Then this is another type of interview. A focus group brings together a group of participants to answer questions on a topic of interest in a moderated setting. Focus groups are qualitative in nature and often study the group dynamic in addition to their answers. A focus group may be good fit for your research if your research focuses on dynamics of group discussion. Your questions are complex and rooted in feelings, opinions, perceptions. Your topic is exploratory in nature and you are seeking information that will help you uncover new questions or future research ideas. Then these are other types of interview which I will not discuss in detail, including behavioral interview, panel interview, group types of interview, case interview, technical interview, stress interview. These are methods of research interview. It can be like personal, it can be telephonic, it can be email or web-based. Then interview design. Objective of interview design is to create structured plan for using interviews to gather data and achieve specific research objectives. So these are the components: objectives, interview type, participants, data collection method, and data analysis strategy. So this is entire design of an interview. There may be a mixed method approach for survey research, which include questionnaire surveys as well as interviews. It uses questionnaire surveys to collect broad quantitative data from a large sample and interviews to conduct a deeper qualitative exploration of individuals' experiences and motivations. So it is a combination. This I have taken from this internet resource. This beautifully describes the differences between questionnaire and interview. Then a little bit about ethics. In survey research, researchers should keep confidential private information about survey participants to himself, minimize the possibility of causing psychological discomfort or harm to respondents. When possible, use paper-based self-administered questionnaire instead of face-to-face survey or interview to elicit information of a sensitive nature. So in case of sensitive information, we should go for a self-administered questionnaire. These are the recommendations I have taken from this article. So this article beautifully describes the guidelines or recommendations for conducting and reporting survey-based studies. Then let us see an example with Python language. So reliability or internal reliability is measured by Cronbach's alpha. Items and questions can be scaled from 1 to 3 or 1 to 5. If the answers to the questions are highly correlated, this is called high internal consistency. We assume that all questions or items measure the same latent variable and the scale should be same. So this is the formula for the Cronbach's alpha. These are the steps. We first calculate the covariance matrix, then we calculate Cronbach's alpha. Then we recalculate Cronbach's alpha after removing one by one individual items. By items, I mean questions. These are various cutoffs. So Cronbach alpha between 0.8 and 0.89 is good, and between 0.7 and 0.79 is acceptable. So we can use this library to calculate Cronbach alpha. This is our data set. So the rows correspond to our respondents and the columns correspond to various questions. So this is how we calculate Cronbach alpha, and in this example, Cronbach alpha is 0.773 with this confidence interval. We can loop through this piece of code and we can have the Cronbach alpha after removing items one by one. We can calculate Cronbach alpha using simple calculations. There is no need to have a special library. So this is the code for calculation of Cronbach alpha. This is our data and this is our Cronbach alpha 0.773. So this is all for today. Thank you very much.